You know, some say that the devil from Milton's Paradise Lost was really just your average liberal. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are. I'm sorry we're lost in time a little bit, but we're going back in time for a minute. And if you've been watching these, you probably recall the Karl Marx part here, which was really weirdly about, well, there's Charlton Heston, New Trier, the school, New Trier East in Winnetka, Bruce Dern. We've just got kind of a slew of people here, and what we are looking to get to, there we go, their little emblem. It's the Trier gates of Abyssinia, although somehow connected to Trier, Germany. I guess that's what it's named after. And according to this article, it's, you know, the gates of hell. So the school is using the gates of hell as its very moniker. It's a public school, and the oak leaf is around it. There's some kind of, I don't know, crazy 666 thing going on. And, you know, it goes deep, my dear friends. It goes deep. So, actually, here, we will leave this. I will leave a link, but we'll leave this with Tolstoy. There aren't any communists, but scheming people must invent some malignant party. All right. And here we go with our little word we're honing in on. Trier, New Trier Township High School. And in the previous videos, you saw that in this area is where the CEOs and editors live for Macmillan Books and other textbook companies for all the schools in America. So sort of concentrated there. What does that have to do with this? It's sort of almost maybe a private inside joke, I don't know, but we're gonna start somewhere a little bit odd for fun. And so I went into a yearbook from said New Trier, 1979. On the left you have Nick Riddell, and on the right you have the Unknown Beetle. Okay, they were in a special program, arts, and if you look at Nick now, you've got Smoke Daddy. And what does Smoke Daddy do? Smoke Daddy is the neon artist. He actually did neon back in high school. The neon artist for the effigy that gets burned down. He tells a bit of a little tale in part of it. He did, sadly, he did not lose the eye, but lost a lot of sight during working. I think he said it was like the only time he hadn't thrown on his safety glasses. But he is from that school that I accidentally sort of ended up at in like the last 2.5 years of school in life. It was rated #1 then. I looked it up now and it's fallen. It's like, I don't know, at 400 or something like that. And we didn't know it at the time. I remember going up the stairs and my dad saw a plaque and started laughing. And so at that time it was at #1. I think the #1s are like probably out west now. I think all these people sort of picked up and went to Stanford or something. Who knows? But here we are at this person. Smoke Daddy is his name now. We could listen to him. Maybe we'll go back to that. We've got a little bit of ground to cover, and hopefully I'll be able to go more in depth later. But I wanted to set a little bit of a ground board. Here we are. If you've seen the vids, you're familiar with our MK Ultra Sullivan and Cromwell law firm. I sometimes feel like Forrest Gump. I don't know how I ended up working there. I mean, I do, and someday I'll tell you the story. I don't want to bore you too much. But yeah, they've got a littler office uptown on Puck, and then downtown is the biggie. That's the hub. And then of course they've got offices all over the world. But that is where the Dulles brothers were, and a lot of the MK Ultra came out of there in different ways. We'll talk about Dr. Cameron, who was a good friend of theirs, who did the Canadian that sort of everyone knows about. And then we'll talk about maybe some things people don't know about as much. I used to keep this book on me when I proofread there. I found it at a place in the village, and it is tiny. It's like you can kind of put it in your pocket almost, and yet it's got a big punch. The CIA's greatest hits. And it just really lays out stuff that I haven't seen in huge, bigger books, like, you know, the Devil's Chessman or the Belarus book and things like that. So I don't know if you're interested. That's a good one. Yeah, this would be maybe the lesser known part. And this is not Sullivan and Cromwell, but I was happy to at least find a picture of the gentleman dude, whatever, on the far right with the red tie and the blue shirt. And this is at the Patty Hearst trial. Okay, here he is he's flanked by 2 others, and they are going to the Patty Hearst trial. They somehow were on the defense. But this guy, he was kind of creepy, I think anyway, Jolly West, Dr. Jolly West, and he was really the link between the Dulles brothers at Sullivan and Cromwell, and, well, actually, how did Sullivan and Cromwell get involved? They had a client, I.G. Farben, who had, you know, the subsidiary of the subsidiary, Sandoz Labs. They really need help with their, or maybe they just want to look like really clip art innocuous here. But as you all know, Sandoz is where LSD was invented, and somehow, I don't know why, but Sullivan and Cromwell got their hands on it and had like a gallon jug of it, enough to dose, all of San Francisco, sort of. So that got really strange. And Jolly West, again, the man in the middle, he had a place across from the bus station in San Francisco. He just sort of hung out a little shingle, free sandwiches, counseling, and every runaway in town showed up there and got dosed by him long before Owsley. And then really where they kind of wound up, oftentimes from San Francisco, was here, at what's called the Hog Farm, which just had a ton of people going up there for all kinds of things. Here's Wavy Gravy, and I'm be interested to know just sort of what kind of went down. I don't know, maybe, at the hog farm. At the hog farm. I wonder if any of these little kids are around to tell us what it was like to be raised at the hog farm. Wow, so that was where kind of the more backdoor things were going on. So, yep, see the hog farm hideaway. And, so anyway, we will try to be looking into more of that. Here we also have, let's show his pick first. We've got on in the middle, of course, we've got Sammy Davis. To the right, we have Anton LaVey. And to the left, maybe lesser known, Lieutenant Colonel Aquino. And that was why I had this up, just to show you that, yes, Lieutenant Aquino, military intelligence, psychological operations. And I'm not sure if he was like involved in Disneyland, but he was stationed in SoCal. So that's kind of another little branch to MK Ultra that we're looking into here. Going back, here we go. The Evergreen State College with MK Ultra. Some say that it seems to be more naval and originally maybe for kind of more like based on, even though we hear a lot about the Nazis with MK Ultra, they were studying from the Koreans. They were studying from Asians, kind of almost, my friend in Vietnam said Fu Manchu stuff. There was what, was called brainwashing and that sort of thing. That the rest of the world was sort of sorely lacking. See how isolate it is there. It was even more so back then. You see sort of a bit of a maybe neighborhood here and there. But Evergreen was brand spanking new. I think it was started in 66 or 67. So they were able to do a ground up. Of course, they implemented the program at many places of already in existence. But that was kind of their fun. And it has a lot of inside jokes, I've pointed out before. In the middle, they have what they call Red Square, to sort of always have this kind of Soviet thing on your mind. They built the clock tower after Kent State. So you always have this kind of sniper feeling. And then down here, you can't really see the bump as much when you're down there. It is quite a hill, and that is known as the grassy knoll. I've even seen it shown up on Google Maps when I've gone in closely. So that is a school built ground up, and we have, of course, let's take a little detour here. It is an Evergreen detour, though. This is an Evergreen grad. He is the Simpsons creator. He is Matt Groening, and he was on Lolita getting a foot massage and doing the whole 9 yards. There's an article in here in Cartoon Brew about that. I'm not sure why it's been so swept under the rug. Maybe because people like him, because he's popular, and it's harder, isn't it, if there's someone you really like and then you find out about them. But I'm letting you know, like him or not. And this was kind of a main MK Ultra guy, Richard M. Jones. Is that who, yeah. And Richard M. Jones, Doc, my friend from, oh my goodness, my good friend from here, Amish, and he was in Vietnam, and he said that he just couldn't believe it when he left Vietnam. He came to Evergreen, not realizing it was an MK Ultra school. He just wanted to be in the Northwest. He was from Southern California and Bakersfield, and it's odd because he was Amish, but he was from a kind of rogue Amish family, and he loved the trees and the water and the mountains. So he came up, and then he said, who does he see in the hallway? Who does he see in the hallway? He sees Richard Jones. And Richard Jones, it even says, like, I had this book and now I don't anymore. It used to be for sale at the college, and now you can only find it, I don't know, it's crazy, for like huge amounts of money, but I did find it at the library, so I'm going to try to haul it in, because it says that he was head of psychiatry and like in naval intelligence, and here he was teaching at the Evergreen State College, which just blew Doc away. And I'm so sorry, I had a great pick of Doc up and it came down. I think I brought up too many pics of too many people. So in the next vid where we really go into Evergreen, I've got to get that pic back up because he's wearing an Evergreen t-shirt. It's hilarious. I don't even know if he realized it. I kind of bumped in on him that day, and it was just very funny. So I guess I can leave you with, hearing. We can put Nick on so you can hear him, and the rest of this sort of beautiful footage.
That's fine. We'll get a shotgun, a bunch of shotgun shells, a couple dogs, and some beer. We'll go out to the desert where no one knows where we are and blow things up. With the rich and entitled. On one hand, I tend to answer them with love, but on the other hand,
that I found hilarious. The rich and entitled. He's from right?
Practical jokes on it.
I'll be quiet.
Yeah, I've never seen it. So, all the beautiful ones. I have a car, I have a staff pass, and I can drive around all week, and I do. The problem about going out to the airport is you do get commandeered. I regularly get commandeered, and whatever they give me, it doesn't matter because I'll take them as far away from where they want to go at a rate and convince them this is exactly where they want to go and get all their stuff out really quick and then disappear in a cloud of dust. give them a Burning Man experience.
That is loving.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
actually a very loving way to solve the problem.
That's far more loving than sending people to the DPW ghetto.
Which
The thing is, members of DPW, even though they come off as standoffish, there literally is no Black Rock City without them, and the investment of 3 to 5 weeks beforehand and weeks afterward as they restore the
Many
quiet of the state
blessings.
where we,